Hey guys, happy Friday. It's Daryl here. It is 1 p.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I want to talk about a video I did a little earlier, and I deleted it because when I went back and looked at it, and I looked at the comments, and I didn't do a good job trying to pull off what I was trying to do. I was trying to use a technique from another channel. I don't want to name drop. A creator who is much more polished and good at this, better at this than I am. And I was trying to use a technique where it would appear that I was talking about one thing to pull people in. And when I was really trying to make a point to the opposite. All right. Let me fill you in some more. All right. So in some of the videos I did concerning Mr. Blake, Jacob Blake from Kenosha, some of the commenters insinuated that he was charged with rape or this or that. We all knew this was going to come, that there was going to be a smear campaign to make him look as bad as possible, like he somehow deserved to be shot 7 times. So a couple commenters were calling him a rapist, and I believe the commenter said something along the lines like, what were the police supposed to do? Just let an armed rapist drive away? And another thing this commenter got wrong, I see how people will say that Jacob Blake, at one moment, he was armed with a knife, but at the next moment, he was going to get a knife on the floorboard. And you know what? The whole point of this video, I said I'm going to be objective. My point doesn't even involve, even if I was to say that Mr. Blake was guilty of all this stuff, that's the point I'm trying to make, is that 5, 6, 7 well-trained, well-armed, well-equipped policemen, why could they not just simply detain one average medium-sized 20-year-old man without it coming to this? Now, and when you look at it in that, and that's the real question I have. Now, you could say Mr. Blake had charges from this or that or this or that. And that doesn't change that question, why the police couldn't just detain him. And even if he was charged with these crimes, that doesn't mean that they should be able to hold the jury in trial right in the street and shoot him in the back 7 times. Because that's what the commenters were making it sound like. So, I looked up to see if there was any charges, and there might be. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell what's real and what's not sometimes on the internet, because people try very hard to smear people. So I made this video because I thought there was probably going to be a lot more of these people going around trying to say that Mr. Blake was a rapist or was charged with rape or this or that. And again, I want to emphasize that I support Mr. Blake and I support Black Lives Matter. And the whole point I'm trying to make is that the police could have handled this better than they did, regardless of what Mr. Blake was charged with before or after or then. They could have detained him without putting 7 bullets in him. But anyway, I wanted to make a video using a technique I had seen on another channel where it would make it appear that I was talking about Mr. Blake, when in reality, I was talking about Brett Kavanaugh and how he was investigated for claims of rape. He was investigated for claims of rape back in college, and they had several interviews with women describing tearfully on how he assaulted them, how he was a drunken lech and all this other stuff. And back then, the same people that are leaving these comments in my videos about Jacob Blake being a rapist and this and that were the same people that were saying that the women were lying. Those are lying tramps trying to smear Brett Kavanaugh. And those same people now are calling Mr. Blake a rapist and this and that, and making it sound like that he should have been shot in the street because of alleged allegations that I don't even know if they're true. So that was the point of my video, to kind of lure people in, the same people that were making these allegations that they thought they thought that Jacob Blake was charged with rape or theft or whatever, or Then there's other people saying that he had warrants, that he was holding a knife. Hey, you know, and you know what? At the end of the day, none of that really matters because the police just couldn't simply detain if they needed to detain him in the first place, if they even needed to detain him in the first place, why couldn't 6, 7 well-equipped, strong, fit, well-trained police officers just simply detain one medium-sized man? Why did they have to shoot him in the back? And conversely, why did they ignore a white kid walking down the street with an AR-15 draped around his shoulders, saying out loud that he just killed somebody, and they drive right past him? To me, that's the question here. Yeah, people can sit around and say all day that, oh, Mr. Blake wasn't an angel. You know what? None of us are angels. And even if that is true, it does not change that. The whole question right there on why Mr. Blake was shot 7 times in the back. Why? Because he walked away from the police? Because he simply ignored a command? He ignored a command. He didn't obey a command. And now he's paralyzed from the waist down. And conversely, some kid, and this is another thing, I'm not sure that open carry is legal for a 17-year-old. Not even from the town, comes in, the police let him go on the street to do their job for him. There's so many, So anyway, I deleted that video. I think I left it a little too ambiguous. I think some people thought I was talking about Biden or Trump or whatever, and they didn't get what I was talking about because I am not as well polished as Beau. There, I gave up the name. I name dropped. I was trying to use that technique though, where people would think that I'm talking about Jacob Blake, when in reality I was talking about Brett Kavanaugh and his allegations of rape, and how these same people vehemently defended Brett Kavanaugh, saying, oh, the women must be liars. And in this situation, pretty much some of my commenters made it sound like, well, it was okay to shoot Mr. Blake in the back 7 times because he's this or that. It's alleged. Kind of 2 different standards there, looks like. And that's what we call racism, and that's the problem. All right, you guys have a good Friday.